What I want to talk about today is efficiency of your home. If you've ever heard the term R-value is considered the resistance to thermal energy. You've heard of R12, R20, R50, R40. Those are just the numbers that defines how efficient your insulation is. By the end of this video, you are probably going to be able to tell from a distance which homes need more insulation. So let's begin. The biggest amount of energy loss is usually in your attic. Now, I have been on hundreds of home inspections over the years, and what I see just kind of blows my mind. I will see homes that have updated furnaces, new high-end windows, and we'll pop our heads into the attic and there's 2 inches of wood shavings from 1965. This is where all their heat has been going, and they've spent thousands of dollars on other things trying to correct this. So every bit helps, but the most important place in the wintertime is the attic because heat does rise. So pretend your home is a giant cooler, for example. Now, the more money you spend on a cooler, the more efficient it is. Have you ever seen like a standard Rubbermaid or Coleman cooler? It'll get you by for the weekend and keep your beer cold. But if you're going camping for a week, I don't know if you've ever seen those Lifetime or Yeti style coolers. The walls on those coolers are really thick, and that is because they are insulated so well and the doors on them close just like your car door. You can keep ice in those things for 10 to 14 days without it melting. So if we take a look into your attic, you will see different types of insulation. There could be fiberglass batting, there could be the wood chips from the older homes. There could be this blow-in stuff that actually looks like a giant mouse nest, but it's not mouse nests, okay? It could be pink, it could be gray, it could be like a white color. It all depends on the material, whether it was fiberglass or cellulose or another different type of blow-in. Now, how they measure the R value on your blow-in is the depth. Now, when blow-in insulation tends to settle, it becomes more of a conductor than an insulator. The attic insulation in summer is also a very good asset to have because it shields your room from that hot attic air created by the sun on your shingles in the summertime. What they're doing today, they do not use the pillows anymore. They just put on the rafters, they put on the drywall ceiling, and then they blow in, just strictly blow in, and they will come into say 20 inches plus, which will give you the new code today, which is R52 and R60, depending on your area. Now, we're in Canada where we have -40, so we want the more the better. You cannot over insulate your attic, but there's no point really past R50 or R60 because then you are just kind of wasting your money because it's doing its job when it's past that point. If your home is more than 10 years old, I would guarantee you that it probably could use a top-up because the code was a little bit different back then. Plus, that insulation does settle. Older homes usually had, say, about a R10 to an R20 of insulation value in the attic, but there is a way to update that very easily as a cost per square foot. There is some do-it-yourself options that you can actually rent a machine from the hardware store and do this project yourself. Although if you are not handy or very skilled in that department, I do not recommend it because the last thing you want is to step through your kitchen ceiling, because the drywall will not support you if you step off of the supports inside your attic. There is several options in upgrading your insulation, I'm going to take you on a little trip to the hardware store where I'm going to show you the different types of products. Let's go. The attic insulation comes as a product that is compacted. It gets put into a grinder and then into a blower. So this creates the air volume in between all the particles. And without air, you cannot get the resistance. If you pack insulation, it becomes a conductor, not a resistor. So this stuff here gets fed into a machine, and someone will be feeding it into a machine. Someone will be up in the attic with a hose, and this is basically a vacuum cleaner, but it's going backwards. They will spray this stuff all over till they achieve your different R value depth, depending on the zone you live in. Alberta, R50, R60 is what we'd recommend today. There are a few different types of attic insulation. You can do just straight batting, which we have right over here. This batting will give you an R40, but you still end up with the rafters in between. And the rafters in between are a conductor. So the rafter, in my opinion, should be covered so it's not exposed to the cold air inside the attic. Now on these, this is a fiberglass blow-in, and they also have a cellulose blow-in. Either one is good. It's just cost changes a little bit on the two. A home, you want to be really comfortable, and we're not talking just minus 40. You want to be comfortable. You want the efficiency at minus 5, minus 10, minus 20, and guess what? Even in the summertime, when it is 35 degrees outside and you have an air conditioner and it's running and running and running and running, and if you were to stand on a step ladder in your house and you're close to the ceiling, say changing a bulb, you will notice that the heat on that top foot against your ceiling is super hot, and that could be an indication that your attic is cooking hot inside and not being insulated very well from the interior of your house. So to make your air conditioner more happy and more efficient, this is also a good thing to have in the summertime. Ask yourself, why did they use wood chips back then? Why did they only put in this much insulation? And the answer is simple. The gas bill back then was a fraction of what we're paying today. So for the little investment in updating that insulation in your house, that is going to pay off really quickly compared to what our gas prices are nowadays. In the next few weeks, we're going to have that frosty morning where you're going to be driving to work through your neighborhood and you're going to see the frost on all those houses. And I know you're going to be looking around thinking about this. So that's what I want you to do. It might even be your own house that you go, oh, I never noticed that, but now I do. So on this style house with the dormer, these are most common for heat loss through the attics. As you see here where I pointed it out. And this one, my guess is there's a vaulted ceiling there, or there could be an attic trap door below that is leaking the seal. Same with this one here. And this one here, I guarantee you that is a bathroom fan where around the fan is not insulated properly and you can see around the chimneys. This one, the dormer again is leaking insulation through, and the heat is going up into the attic, so that needs to be inspected and rectified for maximum efficiency. This one has got huge heat loss. As you see, the end of the soffit is not melting, that tells you definitely the heat is coming from inside the attic. There's a lot of companies out there that top up the insulation. We actually use a few of them. I can help you with those contacts if you like. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and share. Thank you for watching.